All right, guys, welcome back to Brand 5 Garage. This episode's gonna be a little different. I think I say that at the beginning of every episode. Oh well. Anyways, this one's gonna be a little different. We've done a lot of work on this thing that's structural, that's, not a ton of cool stuff going on. I think it's cool, but we're gonna do some stuff on this thing that is cool, that's like immediate satisfaction, I guess you could say, or not immediate, because it's gonna take some time to do. We're gonna try to build the interior. We're gonna build the floors. I'm gonna build the transmission tunnel. Well, the floors are done, but make all that work. Show you guys how to do it and show you guys along the way. Maybe some cool door panels with my nifty bead roller. I bought that, I wanna use it. I wanna do something cool. So we're gonna try to get the interior done. I've changed my idea on that about as many times as I've changed my idea on everything else. Stay tuned. This episode is going to be very, hopefully long, but maybe not. I don't know. I'm filming this before I actually do any of the work. So hopefully I can get into the interior. I can get the structural stuff finished up. I'm not going to show you guys that because that's kind of boring. And then we can do all the sheet metal work, which is kind of cool to see. I enjoy watching sheet metal work. I watch a lot of sheet metal forming channels on YouTube and all that kind of thing. But I really want to make this thing cool and make it functional and make it, if I inspire one person to go out and build a car, that's kind of what I'm doing. I've watched car shows my whole life, kind of inspired to do this. I'm just going to keep doing it, okay? Sorry. Idea here with the interior. I'll go over that and then maybe we'll just start working on it. Obviously, I'm going to have to finish welding all that stuff up, but I think I'm going to lift the truck up on my buddy's lift to do that because it sucks welding upside down with no room and then burning every orifice of my body. So what I'm going to do is at least weld the top part so I can get the floor pans on, maybe make them removable initially, maybe not, maybe just send it and see what happens. I test fitted them and there's going to be gaps over here where there's rust, same with over there. So we're going to fill those with license plates. Not the ones obviously that I'm going to run on the truck, but just license plates. If there's a hole there, because why not? We'll pop rivet it or something. So yeah. Okay, so I'll explain to you guys what I'm going to do here, and then maybe we'll just get to building. So obviously we got to make the driveline fit. We went over that last episode. I got to cut all this crap out. That'll happen maybe in this episode, maybe not. But I also have to build structure under here to support the tunnel. So where that one by one piece is right on the tip of my finger, I'm going to run a piece of 1 by 1 probably along here. I say I'm going to do this and then I probably change it up and then do the same over here. I'm going to run it back to a piece probably back here under the cab that I can weld it to, or I'll just drill holes in here and just, something. I got to get a little structure in there to maintain the rigidity of the body. Okay guys, so I'm just going to quickly draw this out to kind of explain a little better. So we're going to pretend where this marker is, or where I'm standing and where the camera is the motor and transmission looking back into the cab. So this is the area right here that I cut out of the floor. These are the floor pans where the seat is. Right now it's got like it's cut kind of like this, and then it's got that seat, I don't even know what you call it, thing that the seat bolts to on top of that. So what I'm going to do is, we'll pretend those aren't there now. Behind that right there that I just erased, I'm going to bend some sheet metal up into a loop like this. That is a terrible loop. And then, so the driveline can run right through it. You pretend the marker's the driveline. So the driveline will be right here, and it'll run right through it. And then what I'm going to do then is build up, because that driveline, it's more just for, the driveline tunnel is more just for safety and so I don't get a bunch of stuff in the cab. But I want to build a cool console. So the console is going to come up over that, and then this is going to be either 1/2" square tubing or 1 by 1 square tubing, and it's going to be like this. So a side angle of it. Okay, now we're in a side view. So this is the side view of it. This is from like the driver's side door, steering wheel, dash coming out. What the console is going to do is come in like this. I'm drawing through the camera, not down here. So it's going to come like this. And then I think I'm going to have a little hump right here where I'm going to have all the controls to start it. And then it's going to have to come down under here because the stick shift will come up like this. I want a little bit of curve to it. I just don't want like a rectangle box, with the stick coming up over it. I think that wouldn't look as flowy because yes, I am just trying to get this thing on the road, but I'm also trying to learn how to do stuff while I'm doing it. So that's going to kind of be my thought with that. The aerial view of that from the top is going to look kind of like this. It'll have like a little upward angle here, flat-ish, probably still angled like this with the buttons where my knuckles are and the switches and such. And then come down to this. Here's the stick shift, and then it'll end up under the thing, under the dash where it kind of will disappear. That'll make this a bucket seat truck. So therefore I'll have to build bucket seats. I have an idea for my cup holders, because every good hot rod has cup holders, because you gotta put put the wobbly. You need somewhere to put your drinks when you get thirsty. So that's what I'm trying to say. I can't talk. Anyway, so yeah, that's, oh, hiccups. So that's the kind of the rough drawing of it. I don't have any cool digital steering wheel right there. This is going to be like a seat and a seat. It's going to be a two-seater, seatbelt harnesses, hopefully, and I'd like to build the seats. I'm going to just have to look at some seat designs. I have a couple that I like, that I have taken pictures of, and they look a little bit like, we'll get to it. Okay, guys, enough talking. Let's get to work. All right, so the whole idea of this gauge panel or this switch panel is to make it rather race car-like, since that's obviously the theme of the build, hence the way it's been going. So I bought these little switches here off Amazon, Zamazan, or whatever you want to call it, the Jungle website that has everything on there. They're just little, I don't even know what size they are. They're these. They're those right there. So they're, oh, right there, 30 amp, 12 volt. And then I got this bad boy, the start button. Obviously you need that. And then I have a cut-off switch, power switch thingamajigger that will run similar to that. And then I'll run a secret theft kill switch, because this thing ain't gonna have keys. So we're gonna put the switch panel. I don't know, I think I'll build it with maybe 5 of these guys in there, and then we'll just have a spare switch. I don't know what all I'm going to run off this. I'll have to figure that out, and I'll have to do like a wiring schematic thing, which I've never done, so that'll be fun. Okay guys, so I changed up the switch panel I was working on with my cardboard template you guys saw. I'll show you guys how that went. So here's the switch panel, and it's where the little circles are is the little switches. Look a little bit like these guys. I think I just showed you those. And then the start button obviously was up top. So the start button was gonna go here, and then those little switches here. When I started working on it, however, I changed the design. Decided to do the 5 switches in one. So I used the bead roller you guys saw, and I completed that piece, so now I got to build one more panel for the start button, which I may or may not hide. I haven't decided yet. All right, guys, as you can tell, I got this one done. I still did Sharpie marks because I kind of wanted to explain how I did this. So what I did is I cut out a piece of metal the size I wanted. It was just a square. You guys saw me do this one in time lapse. I took this pen cap right here, used it to round off the corners. So I traced it with the sharp corners, and then I basically cut it straight and then ground those edges down so it's rounded, right? Because like I said, with this truck, I kind of want everything rounded since it's, since it's such a round truck. I then took it over, put it in the bead roller so that once, first of all, I came down, I think it was like, I can't remember, 3/4 of an inch maybe, and then drew a line, made it straight, obviously straight, so it was an even border all the way around. And then with the bead roller, I rounded these corners off. This one was a little sketchy, but whatever, we're learning. So yeah, these actually turned out really cool. So ironic how both the bottom left corners are not really rounded. The rest look pretty good though. So this will go in the truck. I can't decide if I want to do it like this or like put this somewhere else or run them next to each other. I don't think they'll fit next to each other since I only have 12 inches to work with, and I think this is going to be, well, I think it's going to be more than that. Yeah, 14 inches. So we'll have to figure something out. We'll figure it out once we get it built. Okay, so that brings us in here, and I've showed you guys on the whiteboard earlier how to go about this. So I only got about where my hand is. That bar's, I think, about a foot, or I'm going to go a little skinnier than that. I could run like that. I kind of like to bring it in to give myself a little more leg room. But structurally, fighting off allergies. I don't know where the bar went. Stand by. So this bar right here, it's pretty thick stuff. I couldn't tell you what it was without my gauge. But I'm going to weld this up and under this lip here, just like that for bracing. And then once that's welded in, set it down, I'll weld a piece down into this right here, kind of square all that off. And then we'll run something, maybe more or something up to here, just to make sure that's sturdy. Obviously, I don't want that to break. This is obviously sturdy right here. I just don't want the truck to taco, because taco and trucks are not good. Taco trucks are good. I like tacos. Anyways, so yeah, we're going to do that. That'll kind of be the plan of attack right now. We'll get that welded in, and then I can start doing these pieces that come up to it, and then I can start in this tunnel. I'll probably do it up to here since I still got to mess with all this stuff to get it going. I just won't weld it all in fully. I'll just maybe tack it in or set it in and see how she looks. So we're back in the interior of the truck. You guys saw in time lapse how I did this. I welded this. So this is built into the cab already. I don't know if it was like to keep stuff from getting under the seat back in 1950 or what the strategy of that was, or just extra support. I'm not really sure. So, because in the later model trucks, you can put stuff under the seat. So, I don't know. Anyways, so this, when I cut that tunnel out there, it got pretty weak. So I ran that piece of that tubing I showed you guys under here, welded it up. You guys saw that all in time lapse. I cut this out right here. It's like 1x3 rectangle tubing. I've kind of used this a lot there and other places. So this is going to weld to this piece down here and then up to that bar, because I'm going to have, obviously I cut that out there, but I need a little more support under here. On the ends of this bar, so here and then there, to hold it sturdy. So probably get these pieces welded in. I cut the other piece, think it's over on the saw. I'll get these guys welded in, and then we'll move on from there. I kind of probably should take either cut a notch in the bottom of this, right where my thumb is, to make up for this. It's kind of hard to see with the light, but there's a little notch here, so try to make it fit.
All right, so as you guys could tell in the video, I got these welded in. They go down to a brace here. They're on both sides. I need to run to Walmart to get some goodies to continue building. So I'm going to run there, get what I need, and I'll be back.
Alrighty, guys. So I ran to the local Wally's World and picked up some items. These are my car keys. We don't need those. I got some scissors to cut this poster board. You see a lot of guys build a chipboard. I can't find it anywhere. So I bought poster board. It might work, might not work. It'll give me an idea, give me a template, and then I can lay that on top of the sheet metal. I can trace it, I can cut it out with a grinder or some other means of cutting. And I got some new Sharpies because one day I'll find all the Sharpies in my garage and I'll have 80,000 Sharpies. But till then, I'm just gonna keep buying them. Okay, so I have showed you guys on the whiteboard previous to this on my little whiteboard doohickey. It is currently right there holding things on it. I don't feel like cleaning it off. So this is going to be cut into form, basically to form the metal, like to form a template with this to cut out the metal. Sorry, I'm having a hard time talking. Don't know why. I'm going to have it run from the firewall, probably about right here-ish, down to this, and then I kind of want it to swoop up because it's going to be an armrest. There's not going to be a middle seat in this. Initially I wanted one, but I mean, it's just not really practical with that issue. Plus 2 seats is easier to make than than 3. Sorry, that was a dumb statement. Anyways, so, and then right here, this will probably end up being covered, and then just this will stick up through. And then I'll eventually weld more of a steering or a shifter coming out. Looking cool, maybe use a beer tap, I'm not sure. So we'll get to cutting this, building a template, and then, okay, so I have a little bit of this 1/2-inch square tubing that I may use to make the, I can't talk, like I said, the structure for the trans tunnel. I got like 2 6-foot sticks of it right here. It's pretty thick stuff, so it should have enough. Well, it's not really, but it should be enough. And then worst case scenario, I got some 1x1 and then some leftover 1x1 and a little more 1/2-inch. That might just be round tubing, but there's metal all over the shop and I might run to the metal store tomorrow and get some more. So we're going to start with this and then we will go from there. All right, guys, so sorry you can hear the welder in the background. I built this piece right here. It's literally just a piece of, it ain't pretty welds, or typical 1x1, and then in between this flat bar, ooh, it's hot, is a 1/2-inch square tubing, and then I put a flat bar on the backside to make up the difference that I needed to have this go flush across here. Oops. Like so. Obviously I'll level it off. There's holes so I can go off those. I'm gonna put it right about there. And that is going to be the back brace for the middle console coming up too. That's just going to be where it comes up to. And then I might run this down a little further just to hide that so it looks a little better. But that is going to be for that part. So I'll get this all welded in. Obviously I got to clean this metal up. Get that coating that we put on there off. Do that and then tack this on. And then we can... And also with that too, I can run like a piece from here to here if need be. Say if the cab starts doing collapsing things, which I hope it doesn't. But yeah, so that'll run from there to there. We'll run the middle console, which I've already had that template cut out for the most part, up to it. And then we'll see what to do if there's a weird gap here. If I could fill it with something cool, maybe I'll do that. Maybe license plates. I don't know. We'll figure something out. I bet you're as tired of looking at the inside of this cab as I am, but I'm just trying to do a little tutorial on what I've been doing. So, here we go. As you can tell, I marked center on every piece here. So here's center there, and then this is 4 inches out, center here, 4 inches out, center here, 4 inches out. The reason I did that is because what the interior is going to do is it's going to come here and it's going to bend in here to give a little more leg room for passenger and driver. So me and probably nobody, because no friends. Anyways, to do that. So I think I'm going to use this little rod. I have a ton of this stuff for some reason. And I'm going to weld it in here just like that to give myself kind of a guideline and something to tape that stuff to. I'm probably just going to do it on that side just so that I can get it taped in. And then I'll just mirror that onto another piece of sheet metal and it'll be balling on a budget. So it's going to come in like this. The metal, I'm going to have it bend around like this into here. And then once it gets up top here, I think initially I'm probably going to bring it into here, but I might curve it towards the back of each seat and fill in that dead space back there and see what we can do. So I think I'm going to start by just welding in that rod. I'd like to do it all the way to there, but as you can tell, it's just a wee bit short. So well, maybe I can do it like that. I don't know. I'll figure it out, and you guys will be watching in time lapse. It turned out okay. So it's just paper now, but I kind of like the way it looks. It's kind of low profile. I might bring it up a little higher. I'll give you guys a look. Zoom out a little bit. So obviously this will all be filled right here, right? Because there's going to be a drive line there. Same with this. I just had to keep cutting, right? It's easier to do this with paper than it is sheet metal. So it's hard to tell the contour there. But so it's going to come here and then it's going to go in and then up like that. That gives you more room for my big butt and my imaginary friend's big butt. But yeah, so it comes up. Obviously that rod won't be there. It'll follow the contour of this for support and structure. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I kind of like the way it looks. I actually put the stool that I'm currently sitting on in there, sat in it. I got a ton of room. And then my thought was I'd put a cup holder or two in the middle. Maybe have like the radio down here. I'm not gonna have a radio. Who am I kidding? It'll probably just be like a Bluetooth speaker. Anyway, so I'm thinking I like this, but I might bring it up more into that, and then totally not even have to worry about filling that. Just bring it up into that, and that way it kind of looks flowy. It is going to be kind of race car style, obviously, but it would just look kind of trick, I think, if I could bring this angle up into that. Got some paper over here. I might cut that. Might look at it. Well, actually, I got a piece here. Let's see what this looks like. Obviously it needs to be trimmed, but that might be okay. I don't know. We'll see. I might head in for the night, get some Z's, and then come back out tomorrow. And then as far as I get tomorrow is as far as I'm going to get for this video. All right, guys. So I was finishing up my work last night. Went inside, fell asleep, woke up, and felt like I got hit with an overstretched bungee cord. I realized that I'm building an 8-inch wide console to fit my 10-inch wide switch panel. So that's not going to work. However, the cardboard inside there is still good, or the poster board's fine. I can just move it back out 2 inches because I got to go 2 inches on each side to try to make it 12 inches. The console 12 inches wide, 12 inches wide, and then I can fit this between, so it'll have a little gap so it won't hit the bracing and it'll look fine. So that was the thought I had. I also had one other issue. So if you guys remember from my drawings that I did on the whiteboard, I think at the beginning of this episode, I had the piece of paper following where my finger's at. It was following that up like this. It came up kind of high. Switch panel was mounted there. Came back down. Kind of had a curvature to it like this, and then flowed back down into an armrest. But I didn't do that, obviously. So what I did do, though, and what I also didn't do, is, like I said, I made this too not wide enough apart. So that's going to be, right now how it sits, I have it measured out for 8-inch wide armrest. We're going to go 12. That extra 4 inches is to make up for the 10-inch wide switch panel that I have to have. So, because that's the controls for everything in the truck. I wish I wouldn't have, that piece can stay there, but I wish I wouldn't have put this in here the way I did. It's kind of got to stay though, because that's a ton of structure right there. That's pretty much holding between that and then this little hoop-de-doo rinky-dink thing I did here. That's holding the truck from basically collapsing on itself. So that's going to stay how it is. I'm going to build some more bracing, probably down to that other beam. Eventually, I'd like to just get the sheet metal set in here so I can see what it looks like once it's done. So here's an aerial view of it, because I got a little pole for my camera. So this rod right here, and then this rod right here, it'll pretty much split those two. So this one will slide over to here. I'll still have this curvature here to give myself a little more butt room up to there. It'll just bring the seat out 2 inches, but as it sits right now, I mean, there's plenty of room to sit. I'm not worried about that. And I could always, you know, contour it in, make that switch panel the way it is, and then I could bring it in more if need be. We'll get it all put together. I might run another piece of paper, just tape it all up, see how I like it. So I get a feel for it, sit in the truck, probably on my handy dandy stool that I'm currently sitting on, and use that as a mock-up instrument. All right, guys, that's probably going to be it for this episode. I got a lot done on the truck. I wish I would have got more done, but like I said before, I'm just a one-man wrecking crew out here. This isn't a custom shop by any means. It's just me hanging out in my shop with rusty trucks that give me coughs and really bad allergies. So, with that being said, we got a lot done on the truck this week. Next week, I have a ton of time to work on it, so I'm hoping I can get the interior done. I can maybe even get it running. That'll be a great episode. I haven't filmed it yet, so I might not get anything done. We might go on vacation. I don't know. But that's the goal. I appreciate you guys watching a ton. Stay tuned for the next episode. I'm also going to release a video next week on a tutorial of how to get the best deal on a project car. That'll be sometime next week. I'll post to Instagram when that's going to be posted, or when it is posted. I'll also probably do a Facebook short on it, or sorry, a YouTube short on it, saying that I'm going to post it. I'll do something, and then I'll post it. And then I'll post this one too on, well, this one will be posted since you're watching it. What I'm going to do is have another video of the build out next week, and that other video since I already filmed it. I'm going to do some tutorial videos here and there just on mistakes that I've made to try to help you guys not make the same mistakes when it comes to buying cars, building cars, knowing what to look for in cars, so on and so forth. Like I've said before, I appreciate you guys watching a ton. It means a lot to me. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, make sure you do. Hit the little bell thingamabobber, and it alerts you when I have new videos. That's pretty cool too. Get those subscribers, get those watch hours up. Keep watching. I appreciate it. On that note, thanks for watching Brand 5 Garage. I'm signing out. Stay tuned for the next episode.